Hello. Today I'll be teaching you how to tame Poglin. No, Noglin. Sorry. Damn it, FM. Got me saying Poglin. Poglin gang. If you feel like it, let me know how many times I call a Noglin Poglin in this video. I know there's a lot of videos out there on this community on how to tame them, but I've been doing extensive testing over the last few days, and I've gotten all the information for you, including its favorite food. So let's get into this. So the first thing you need to know is how can you move the Poglin, because no one really wants to tame one in its natural environment, right? So let's try a crossbow, see if we can grapple and drag it. Nope, can't grapple and drag it. Grapples break when you hit it. But I bet you can net it, and so we'll do a test here, and yeah, you can net it. So the next thing we'll test are the flyers that can pick it while it's netted. Okay? So we'll come down with a pterodon, we'll try and pick it, and I've tried many times, I can't pick it with a pterodon. I don't know if it's bad or what, but yeah, I couldn't get it with a pterodon. The RG though, right off the bat, right? Picks it right up, so anything bigger than an RG should be able to carry it, you know. So we'll try Skiff next. And yeah, Skiff can pick it up. Okay, so Quetzals can pick it up, and your Voidworms can pick them up. So there you go. You got lots of options to bring them back to a taming pen, so you don't have to tame them at the spot. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see some taming pen builds for Noglins. Next thing we're going to test is some, basically the levels of dinosaurs. Do they matter? All this stuff. So what I found out is the base level of the dinosaur, you know, the wild level does matter. 150 is best. With this turtle here, this turtle is level 150, while tamed, right? Everything in this video is 150. Okay, so with the Poglins, or the Noglins, sorry, are 150s, and the turtles are 150s. Alright, so we'll do this here. You'll see the percentage it gets, and then we're gonna turn around, and now that we see this here, 7, okay, we're gonna turn around and we're gonna do this to the same level turtle. This time I added experience points and leveled up itself. That's all that mattered with the Bloodstalker, that I could grab the dino and that what its leveled up health was. For the Noglin here, as you'll see, that doesn't matter. Right, health, the amount of health value a dinosaur has, it does not matter. What matters is the category of the dinosaur and the base wild level of the dinosaur. Turtles aren't going to get you a whole lot, but a lot of people like to use them because they're tanky. That really doesn't matter either. The Noglin is going to rip through their health no matter how tanky they are and leave them with a sliver. If they are missing some health when it gets started, they may die. So this is a basic Noglin trap here. It's like 13 gates wide. Okay. Here's another misconception that with the Noglin, that they need to be able to, when they possess something that needs to be able to fight other things. It does not. So you can overweight the dino so it can't move around and go attack other dinos. Now, these turtles are set up mostly not to reach each other. Some of them still can, so some turtles still die here, but that's okay. Alright, so we weighted it down, and then the Noglin gets going. Now, what is going to happen here, though, is you'll notice that there's no way the Noglin is going to reach 100% taming off of just a few turtles. It's going to take quite a few, and there's not enough turtles here to tame a full level 150 Noglin, but that's not the point of this part of the video. So what I'm showing you here is that anything over 5 dinosaurs reduces the taming efficiency of the Noglin. So what happens after once it's left its 5th dinosaur and it goes to hop on its 6th dinosaur, its taming effectiveness will start dropping rapidly. And after its 7th dinosaur, I believe its effectiveness drops to almost nothing, and then if it takes more than 8, you're not going to get any bonus levels out of this. So turtles work great if you're just trying to rush a Noglin and get one, but they're not its preferred food. They don't do well. Most carnivores don't either. I've done a lot of extensive testing throughout the different Genesis 2 dinosaurs and which ones are its preferred food, which ones work, which ones don't. And I can tell you right now that carnivores are not its preferred food. It gets higher percentages off of herbivores of the same levels. Like I told you, I tested everything at 150. Gigas, it does not like Gigas all that much. Gigas they're not worth using for this, for the purposes of the Noglin. Some of the runner-ups that can do pretty well, especially if you're taming maybe lower level Noglins, is the Stego, the Trike, and the Paracer. Those do pretty well. They basically get this 150 Noglin to 16 to 18%. Tech Stegos do a little, slightly more, maybe like 1% more than a normal Stego does. So that, you know, either way, like I said, it's based off of their wild tame levels. The first preferred food that you can get pretty early on, it's going to be a Bronto. Now, through testing at different levels of Brontos, a 150 Bronto, of course, will give the Noglin its 20% efficiency off of one Bronto. Or, sorry, 20% taming off of one Bronto, and its efficiency stays at 100%. If you get the glitch where the Noglin hops off a tame and you don't get another tame to it quick enough, and it shows you 125% taming effectiveness, that's not actually what's going to happen. If that Noglin doesn't glitch out and you're able to tame it, well, it's going to be at like 0% when it's actually done. So don't trust that. Now, what I was saying about the Brontos, the 150, of course, a 150 wild tame Bronto will give a 20% taming efficiency, so 5 Brontos. That is, if Noglin doesn't glitch. Noglins are very glitchy right now, and we'll probably actually need 6 or 7, maybe even 8 of those Brontos, and your efficiency is going to be pretty bad. That's just because it's glitchy right now. And I'll show you how that's what happens here. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is after it finishes one Bronto, I pull it out and I bring another Bronto in and put it down into the trap and let the Noglin eat the Bronto. One problem with this trap is Bronto's head sticks over the wall, so at some point the Noglin gets out because it jumps off the top of the head and falls right out of the trap and takes off and starts wreaking havoc. But as you can see, if I'd weigh down the Brontos, it would have gone better, and then I could just pick them up, move them over, and then tamed it that way. So you can try that if you want. The skiff makes this super easy because you can just move dinos in and out. You can use crowd pods as well, crowd them in and out. Now, however you want to do it, there's no reason to let your dinosaurs die during the taming process, and you can reuse them for future tamings of Noglins, right? Now, what I was saying about the Bronto levels, what changes is, so a level 75 Bronto will not get the Noglin to 20%, and a level 100 Bronto will not either, but a level 125 Bronto will. So if you're taming a 150 Noglin, you're going to want a 125 wild tame Bronto or higher to get perfect effectiveness. And of course, if it doesn't glitch out, right? The Noglin's very glitchy right now, has a lot of issues. If you log off with it on your shoulder, you log back again, you may not be able to pick it up till you punch it. Things like that. Sometimes when taming, the Noglin jumps off of the dinosaur, hits the ground, and disappears. It does that especially when you're using its favorite food, which we'll show you here in just a moment once we get through the Bronto. So as you can see, like I said, the Brontos are getting 20% on each one, and eventually the Noglin gets out and wreaks havoc. Has some issues. It hits 100% and then doesn't actually tame. When this happens, you have to wait for the Noglin to drop back below 80% before it will jump on the next tame and start taming up. And this is what I'm saying, you may need 8 of these Brontos around to tame it. So you may want to throw a couple of turtles in, whatever you have available. Get a 150 wild Bronto, 125 wild Bronto. The element on this map is insane. Make yourself a cloner and just clone like 10 of them. And then once you have 10, you have all you need to tame any Noglin you ever want. And you just keep healing them and reusing them, healing them and reusing them. I do end up taming this Noglin. Once it gets out, it jumps on one of my Void Wyverns and tames. Finishes taming, but that brings me to the next point. Its favorite food is the Void Wyvern. So the Void Wyvern's a little different than the Bronto. It only needs, for a level 150 Noglin, the Void Wyvern only needs to be level 100. And here's the great thing about Void Wyverns. They take no damage from the Noglin. Right, so you can reuse them over and over and over right away with multiple Noglins. You may even be able to tame multiple Noglins at once with a Void Wyvern pit. Now how you do this is up to you. If you weigh them down, they can't fly away. Here, an issue I had with weighing them down, though, and not letting them fly away was at some point the Noglin disappears and it blinks out of existence when it jumps off of them. It's gone. It removes it from my taming list and everything. At one point through this process, you get 100% tame. It actually finishes taming, jumps off, and vanishes. So yeah. I don't know. I know the Void Wyvern is their favorite food right now, but there are some glitches with using Void Wyverns, and unfortunately, you're probably going to lose a lot of Noglins just through the taming process alone. It's extremely glitchy. Hopefully, they get it fixed. I mean, course, this is the beta for Genesis 2, right? If y'all didn't know, if you haven't played Ark DLCs before, basically the first 3 months of the server being locked, so you can't transfer in with stuff, is actually the beta. And then when it unlocks, it's basically mostly everything's been fixed and the bugs have been worked out. So, welcome to playing Ark DLCs if you didn't know. Alright, now that you know what their favorite food is, where do you find the Noglins? Well, they spawn on the 50 line in the Rockwell Garden. You may have to clear the whole area out, alright? Go through and kill all the dinosaurs to refresh spawns to get Noglins to spawn. But once you start getting them to spawn, then you can take them back to your base and tame them. They also spawn in the Rockwell Gut Biome, though I wouldn't recommend taming them here, as all kinds of things can happen when you bring tames in. Of course, Reapers will spawn on you, the seeker things with the lights will see you and come attack you, and you basically would have to kill the entire time you were down there. It's best to take the Noglin back to wherever you want to tame it at. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an awesome day.